All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for a few real people out there just like you and just like me. So, yeah, yesterday was kind of a weird day in the world, and I um, did a video this morning about all of that stuff. But now we're back to music. Some of you who want to escape all the news and the political stuff, here I am. And I've got an album here for you to check out before I talk about the Sammy Hagar debut, which I didn't attend, but I did happen to see quite a bit of footage from it. And I'll be talking about what I think was good and what maybe was not so good. But here's Allocate and their album Heaven Tonight. This is a band that's really been around for a number of decades, like probably 90s or 80s. So 30 or 40 years. Yeah, 35-ish, I think. Anyway, if you like the music of Van Halen or Deep Purple or Whitesnake, this would be something to listen to. Check it out. It's brand new. It's called Heaven Tonight. It's from Pride and Joy Music. These guys have been on a roll this year and had that band on my show, believe it or not, a few months ago. Now, again, before I go into this concert thing here, I just want to say thank you to the patrons of this channel. Sometimes I get discouraged by things that people will write or say. And it's good to know that there are patrons who support the channel, who enjoy the content, and just do it. And I'm not begging you every month to do it, but yet you guys are always there doing it. So I appreciate that. Also, YouTube members and the folks over on Buy Me a Coffee, which has been wildly successful so far. Um, it's just fun to see when people will, because that just happens instantaneously. Like, boom, I'm buying you a coffee. I'm buying you 5 coffees. And so that's been great. And usually the messages are fun to read. So I appreciate that as well. I think we can all use encouragement during times like this. I'm just putting that out there. This isn't a time, to bring up stuff that was said before and all that. This is a time to just say, you know what, let's just move forward. Let's just do our best and try to get along. And I think most people understand that in today's world. You may not agree on politics. You may not agree on certain people in politics, but I think there are things that are bigger. Now, some of you just want to escape, right? So you're going to go see Sammy Hagar. I would do it, right? I could have gone to this show, but it's 3 hours each way. Yeah, people say, you're just a wimp. Yeah, 10:30 at night, man. I am just clinging to that pillow like, oh, this is great. I mean, your priorities tend to change as you get older. I know I should just store it up, right? Maybe I'll take a nap during the morning, during the early afternoon, and then, but again, you've got 6 hours of driving. And so unless somebody's sending a limo, which is not going to happen, both ways here, we'll send you a one-way limo would be kind of bad, right? But yeah, if Sammy Hagar said, yeah, let's send this guy a limo and we'll pick him up, and he better say stuff that's nice. So instead, in this video, I can just tell the truth. The show looks to be good. Now, a rock star buddy of mine, I don't like to name drop, so I'm not going to say who it is, said to me, you got to be careful with these videos from cell phones because the quality isn't that good. But typically I can hear the singing and you can kind of get the timing. The singer is kind of in sync with the band and that sort of thing. I watched a couple of songs from a recent Journey concert and I wasn't all that impressed. All right. I'm just putting it out there. But Sammy Hagar and his band seemed pretty tight, pretty solid from start to finish. And you even get a Joe Satriani song, which I think is kind of cool because I'm a big fan of Joe. And holy crap, Batman, Robin. Um, Joe sounds amazing. I think Joe is the star of this tour. I mean, he has worked his butt off trying to be Ed to some degree. He's not exactly like Eddie Van Halen. No one's going to do that. But man, he's doing a great job. So you get to hear Satch Boogie, which is such a good song. But I mean, these guys are doing oldies. They're doing the Sammy stuff. They're doing Ain't Talking About Love. They're doing a part of Jump, which was kind of a surprise. And then you get the usual Sammy Hagar stuff thrown in there, like I Can't Drive 55, Eagles Fly, Mouse Tequila. Wonder if they have tequila at the show. Probably not. But then all the other ones you would expect here. Run Around, one of my favorite sort of lost radio songs that they don't play anymore. Just a great song. And you get Panama. Yeah. And you get some help from Michael Anthony. Now, it's 21 songs. So you're getting your money's worth, I think, right? Depends on how much money you want to spend. And overall, the music is solid from start to finish. Now, the only weak spot, and this is going to hurt, I'm sorry I have to say this, but you know, if you expect to hear some high notes on songs like Right Now and When It's Love, it's not going to happen. All right. Sammy is really good, though, at throwing the off speed curveball. And, you know, you're ready for a fastball, but it's just, it still goes over the plate, but with less speed and a little bit lower. It's a lower pitch, lower tone. Look, Sammy is going to be 77 in October. I hate that everybody waited so long to do stuff. Like Hart, they've been sidelined because poor Ann had an operation. They should have been out there 5 years ago. Well, they were technically, but then they stopped. And then, you know, they should have been out there before that. They should have run this through and gotten it over with a couple of years ago. And the whole Van Halen thing is just so dysfunctional that it took even longer. I mean, this sounds good for what it is. And people always say, Dave, he's 76. What do you expect, man? I'm like, it's just tough because you've grown up listening. If they do concert reenactments, and they used to do this, which was really cool, like you'd go to a concert. Up in New England, I would go to concerts, and like WBCN or WCOZ or WHJY, they would do like a concert recreation. They'd find out what the set list was, and even if, especially if they had live versions of songs, they would play one song, just the same thing you just listened to. You'd get in the car, and if you had a long drive home, you'd hear the concert again as it was, you know, done, except the radio station would reenact the concert with the material that they had in studio. They didn't actually have a recording of the concert. And that was so cool because you get in the car and you'd be like, yeah, you just heard 38 Special at the Providence Civic Center, and buckle in because we're about to play every single song you just heard back to back. And that was, you know, radio traditions like that are just, they're gone. So someone should probably reenact this 21 song set. Pretty easy to do. If you've got live versions, you know, you put the live versions in there or you alternate some live versions. Overall, on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm going to give this a 7, right? I'm going to give it a 7. I would have given it a higher grade, but you've got a singer who is past his prime, who is pulling out everything he can, you know, and a guy 10 years younger than him couldn't do this. I just, these are very big shoes to fill. They're his own shoes. He set the bar that high. So essentially he has to jump over the bar that he set. This is why Steve Perry doesn't come out of hiding, because then he's got to be the Steve Perry from, you know, 1982. And it just, I think that's impossible unless, you know, you clone him and then you put him in a younger body with a younger voice. And they're working on that stuff. So unfortunately, they're working on that. That's called artificial intelligence and merging with human beings. And then you're going to have avatars and you have all this stuff. It's like, ah. So go see this before it's gone. I said this in the other video. Even after seeing these performance videos, Michael Anthony looks like he's having the time of his life. Jason Bonham, you'd expect him to be great on drums. he is great on drums, right? So most of this is holy crap Batman. With Sammy, it's kind of like holy goody two shoes Batman. I don't know. It's still good. It's still good, and it's still something that you go and say, yeah, I'm glad I went and saw Sammy Hagar and his band. So that's my humble opinion on this. I could be wrong. You may think this is the greatest concert you've ever seen by far, or you may think it's worse than I described it, but I don't think it's worse because the quality of these musicians and Sammy's commitment to this, I think, makes this better than some other band just going through the motions. I don't think these guys are mailing it in. I think they're putting in 110%. So we'll see how that works for the rest of the tour. Um, it's a tough tour. It's tough being this age and having to get out there. And again, you have a back-to-back show last night and now tonight up in Tampa. So that should be fun for those of you on your way to the show, and maybe you're listening to this video. That would be convenient, right? Here's Allocate and Heaven Tonight. This is a great album. Maybe on your way to the show, you can find this on, Apple Music or Spotify or YouTube Music or something like that, and just give it a listen. Might be some good warm-up music if you run out of Van Halen, although that's going to be tough to do. 21 song set, these guys do. So buckle in, and you get the Satch Boogie, which is a fun track to listen to as well, and some solo Sammy stuff. So definitely worth going. Hopefully everybody gets there safe and has a great time. My name is Dave. Please pray for this country. Pray for peace. I've been saying in videos, pray for this election. Pray for President Trump. Pray even for President Biden. Bible is clear. Jesus said to pray for your enemies. Pray for people that do you wrong. You don't want bad things happening to those people. You just don't. We want to lower the temperature in this country where people can coexist and get along with one another, and there's not constant fighting and animosity and name calling and insults. Today was an interesting day for me because I heard from someone, and it was surprising what I heard. And so I'm just going to leave it there. Again, thanks to everyone for supporting this channel on Patreon and YouTube memberships, and also Buy Me a Coffee. The support I get over there is very positive, and I'm thankful for that. I don't take it for granted. God bless, and I will talk to you soon.